we've got this email, just one today. Podcast question, advice starting a YouTube channel. Hey, Lewis, I hope you're having a terrific start to 2026. When did this guy send it? Oh, he sent this on January 7th. So this is probably, was like, oh, it's a brand new year. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I should get some advice. Yeah, sorry, buddy. It's been about 6 months. Well, I'm writing to you for some advice on getting started and growing a YouTube channel. For background, I'm a filmmaker who's been working on digital content creation and videography for government over the last 4 years, but my ultimate passion and aspiration is filmmaking. So in 10 years' time, I'd love to be making feature films. That's a really realistic timeline. Like, if you want to make films, it's like, maybe in a decade, I'll get to start being an assistant director, maybe. At least you're being realistic, dude. That's good. I like that. But there is seemingly no direct pathway from working in government into filmmaking, correct? So I know that I need to make some changes and take some big swings. We love that. We do big swings, which is why I'm aiming to drop my day job from 4 days to 3 days a week so I can put more time into my YouTube film channel. I really want to run a YouTube channel focused on filmmaking. By the way, I love that this guy has not quit his job. That's so important. A lot of people are like, man, I just want to like live the dream and be a starving artist. It's like, the job pays for the art. The job pays for your ability to make no money. You are buying the opportunity to be poor as an artist. That's why the job is so important. I never, ever, ever recommend quitting your job to start anything. Keep the job for as long as humanly possible, because you don't want to quit the job and come crawling back. You want to quit the job knowing that you don't need the job. That's my biggest advice to anyone starting any sort of business, passion, creative thing. Don't quit the job. You need the job. The job is fuel. Money is fuel. Which is why I'm aiming to drop my day job from 4 days to 3 days a week so I can put more time into my YouTube film channel. I really want to run a YouTube channel focused on filmmaking and creativity more generally. If this can become my primary source of income, then I can have more autonomy, take it anywhere across the world, and hone in my filmmaking skills while making content I'm passionate about and would watch myself. Great. I did 4 uploads last year, one of which got 50,000 views. That's amazing. And now I have 500 subscribers. So my question is, what advice would you give to someone starting up a fairly fresh YouTube channel in 2026? Of course, consistent uploads that tap into the zeitgeist are key. So I'd also like to know if you have any advice specifically on growing a dedicated audience who will stick around long term, as you've done that pretty successfully. Anyways, thank you so much for reading this and all the content and art you put out. As a creative, I find it not only really entertaining, but also incredibly inspiring and helpful. Have a shit one, Tom. This is a good question. Now, YouTube's changed a lot. I'm going to say something pretty crazy. I think that YouTube is easier than it has ever been. I think it's the easiest that it's ever been because equipment is cheap and easy to use and intuitive. There are editing programs that do most of the work for you. There are social media platforms where you can rip 1 million views in a day from your phone in a video that you filmed in 30 seconds, right? Like, it's not an awesome example, but like that video of me talking about what happened on the train, that did millions of views. I filmed that in 40 seconds. Now, I don't want to create that type of content all the time, obviously, but the reason it blew up was because it was honest, it was raw, it was authentic. I filmed it in the moment. And it was true and honest and real. And that's what travels, right? And that was really easy. And it got fucking millions of views. And it got a lot of new fans, right? Now, that wasn't why I did it, of course. That was just, but it's like a good example of like back when I started, I could never have done something like that and have it travel. It was a lot harder. Especially not on YouTube. YouTube was so difficult. I mean, just the idea that on Photoshop, you can make a cool thumbnail now. That used to be so difficult, and now it's easy. But anyone starting YouTube doesn't understand how hard it used to be. So I understand that it doesn't fucking matter, right? It's difficult now as well. So firstly, and this is advice that I need to listen to, consistency. Consistency matters so much more than quality on social media. And that isn't to say upload shit stuff. That is to say, if you have to sacrifice quality to get a consistency, you got to make that sacrifice, right? And that can feel yucky, or that can feel artistically gross, or that can feel annoying. But it's also like, yeah, if you want to be a filmmaker, you are not going to get there by making movies on YouTube. Look at the Raka Raka boys, right? They uploaded a lot of shit stuff. They uploaded a lot of janky stuff. They uploaded whatever they could at the standard of what they could to maintain consistency. And if you put their YouTube videos are great. They're amazing YouTube videos, but they're not movies. If you put the Raka Raka boys YouTube videos next to the films they made, the YouTube videos would look like shit because they weren't trying to make movies. I think that's what a lot of people who want to do something through social media don't realize, is that, yeah, you're not making a movie. You're not making a comedy special. You're not making a play. You're not writing a book. You're doing tweets. You're doing crowd work clips. You're doing short sketches. You're doing rants, right? That's what the internet is for. That's what social media content is for. If you want to do quality, you earn that by being consistent. So me, for example, if you have a look at my social media platforms, right, I'm aiming for consistency and I'm trying to be consistently hilarious, right? But I have built formats that enable me to be as funny as possible without killing me. Right? This podcast, it looks great. It looks amazing, but it's me sitting in a chair. I don't have any editors. I don't have any producers. I don't have this. I never play sound effects. I don't play stuff. I would like to do those things. They might make the show better. I don't have time. So I don't do that. Right? Consistency is so much more important than any other metric. You need to be consistently as good as you can without sacrificing that consistency. Right? And if you think about it, that's true of everything. The Olympic sprinter doesn't win by running as fast as he can every single training session. Why? That would kill him. He would get injured. The writer does not become a good writer by writing a book every single day. He writes a page. Sometimes he doesn't write at all. Sometimes he writes 10 pages. Sometimes he writes 2 pages. The point is, he sits down in his chair and he writes. But this leaves us with the question, right? So essentially what I'm saying is, instead of thinking, how do I blow up on YouTube? You first must think, what format of video can I create regularly? Fuck all this channel stuff. Who cares about views? Blah, blah, blah. What do I have to say? What can I say consistently? You look at my channel, Lou Review is me talking about current thing, cultural event, news, funny video, and I stand in my set, and the set looks exactly the same every time, and the format is the same every time, and there's no fancy editing, there's no bullshit, it's just me talking, and I don't always pull this off, but my aim is to do that 2 to 3 times a week. Spearhead Sundays is I sit in my chair, and I talk once a week. You build formats. You don't build a channel. You don't try and get 1 million views. You build a format that enables you to be consistent, because YouTube today is like, it's not about subscribers. So like I have 600,000 subscribers. I don't get 600,000 views every single video. That's like 2013 shit. That doesn't happen anymore. Every single algorithm is discovery based. Every website, and this is better for the user, which is also better for the creator. A lot of creators complain about this. I think it's good. Every video you put out, YouTube takes and goes, what person would like this? And it tests it and it sends it to individuals that would like it, right? And often they're not your subscribers. So the downside of that for me with a bigger channel is, yeah, not all my subscribers don't see all my videos. In fact, most of them don't even know that a video has come out. The upside is, when my videos go viral, they go fucking viral, right? So yes, I'm not getting 600,000 views on a commentary video, but I am doing 10 million views on a stand-up clip when it hits. Because YouTube goes, oh, I know who to show this to, and it shows it to people. So essentially, you need to make videos that will be discovered by a type of person that you know that you can speak to regularly. So you need to, and the only way that you can do that consistently is by being honest and by talking, by making the video that you want to watch. My criteria for what is a video for the Lewis Spears subscriber is not that. It is, what do I think is funny? What do I find interesting? The way that I plan this show is not what's everybody else talking about. It's what am I obsessed with this week? And often that does happen to be what everyone's talking about, but you know, sometimes it's just me being like, hey, my dog got scared. So you need to build a system that allows you to be consistent, and you need to be doing it regularly, because the way the algorithm works now, and you know, you can say that it's wrong, but that is just wasted breath. You got to play with the rules that you're given, right? The way that it works is YouTube, every time you upload something, YouTube learns about you and the type of person you appeal to. And if you just keep giving it that information, it becomes more and more confident about the type of person that would enjoy your stuff. So if you give them one video a month, YouTube goes, I don't know, I don't have enough information to serve your videos. If you give them 3 videos a week, it has heaps of information and it knows where to send your videos. This is why, with my channel, this is why I'm not touring, right? Every time I post 2-3 times a week for 3 months, at the end of that 3 months, every video just does 100,000 views or more. But that first month, videos will do 20, 30, 10, you know, way less, right? Because YouTube is learning and building up information about who likes my videos, why they like my videos, the type of videos I make, and all this kind of stuff. And if you think about it from a business point of view, why the fuck would YouTube promote you when you get 50,000 views with a 10-minute video once every 3 months and then you don't post, versus the guy that gets 20,000 views a video, but he posts 3 a week? Who the fuck would you rather promote if you were YouTube? The smaller guy that's more consistent because he's going to do more views over time and get more money. Because another thing to realize is that how do I explain this? YouTube would rather a video. YouTube, you would think that YouTube would rather a video with 1 million views versus a video with 100,000 views. That's wrong. Because if you get 1 million views, that's great, but YouTube doesn't serve ads on older videos. YouTube would way rather a guy who uploads 10 videos that get 100,000 views each than one guy that uploads one video with 1 million views. Because those 1 million views, even if they're accruing, right, in the backlog because it's evergreen content, the ads, the advertisers would rather be on the fresh stuff. So YouTube would make more money out of the 1 million views from 10 videos that are coming out today, rather than 1 million views that accrues on an older video. So to blow up on YouTube, you must build a system that allows you to be consistent. And that's why, yeah, you don't quit your job because you're going to need money to survive. So you cut your hours down and you just build a video format. So that's my advice, is build a format. Not what video am I going to film today? What format will enable me to just look at a template and fill that? I hope this is making sense. And then when you feel like creatively burnt out by just filling the format and doing repetitive stuff and easier stuff to make, that's when, yeah, every 3 months you do a big thing, or every 6 months you do a really big thing. Like, that's what I try to do, is whenever I feel, I don't feel creatively unfulfilled by doing the easier stuff, because once a year I tour and I spend a year crafting like the best thing I can possibly make. And then on YouTube, every 6 months I'll do a stunt or a sketch or a more high effort thing. And that does two things. It fulfills me creatively, it refreshes me, and it also shows my audience what I'm capable of when I take the weights off or when I go full power, if you get what I mean. So that's my advice to you starting a channel in 2026. It's not, how do I make the best video possible? How do I fucking make the most amazing thing possible? If you want to do that, you're looking at YouTube wrong, right? You actually want to make a film, obviously. And that's a great desire to have. But YouTube is not for making movies. That's the theater. You got to put and if you made a film on YouTube, it wouldn't be appreciated as much. You know? You got to be in the right environment. And the right environment for a movie is the theater, not YouTube. So don't try and make a movie. Don't try and make a movie. Obviously, make good YouTube videos, but make good YouTube videos. Know what you're here on the platform for. And then my other more practical advice would be shorts are very powerful. The shorts used to be, I think, pretty bad for your channel. Now they're just electric. They're great. A perfect example is this Harry Potter thing. I put the Harry Potter clip out first as a longer video. It's, what is it, like 3 or 4 minutes landscape on my YouTube. It did, I think it bombed. It did 12,000 views, right? Something like that. And the reason it got so few views was because I had not posted for a very long time. YouTube had no information about who my viewer is and who I am as a channel. So I disappeared because I was touring, didn't upload, and then I just dropped this video that is a brilliant video, obviously. It's a great stand-up clip. People fucking loved it. But YouTube did not know who to deliver it to because I have not told them who to deliver it to because I had not posted for weeks, right? But then I clipped it and I took that 4-minute video and I cut it down into a YouTube short and I put it on YouTube Shorts, where YouTube is just showing shorts to anybody who'll look, and it fucking exploded. And it did 8 million views on shorts. And then YouTube was like, I see who Lewis's audience are. I know who will enjoy this because I have more data, because I can see that this person liked this video. So I'm going to take this video and show it to a person that is like that person. And that video that bombed, they got 12,000 views. It now has over 100,000. So YouTube is not just about making the best video. Obviously, that's important. It's more so about finding the audience and allowing YouTube to understand who your audience is. And the way the algorithm works is it's just data. So the more you post, the more YouTube learns. And that obviously doesn't mean post shit. That means if you have to sacrifice a little bit of quality for a lot of consistency, you make that sacrifice. Because really, to get a piece of art from 70% to 100%, that's almost the most amount of effort. Getting a piece of work, a song, a painting, a joke, 70% of the way, that's quick almost, once you have those foundational skills. But getting it from that 70 to 100, that takes months. So don't spend that effort on a YouTube video. Spend that effort on a movie, because you're not trying to make movies, you're trying to make YouTube videos. And the better you get at getting to that 70%, your 70% will be a lot better than somebody else's 100% the more you do that. Because that's the thing as well, is a lot of people complain about sacrificing quality for consistency on social media, but they don't realize that the audience is not expecting, they don't want a movie. If they wanted a movie, they would turn on Netflix and watch a film with the phone off. A lot of people get in their heads like, I know that I'm not fucking making movies or comedy specials every day on YouTube. I'm making something that someone is going to put on their second monitor while they raid on World of Warcraft. And if I make them laugh 6 times, that's a really good YouTube video. So don't get me wrong. I'm trying to make the best YouTube videos I possibly can. However, I acknowledge that I am making YouTube videos. And when I really want to put my maximum effort to get that 70% to a 100%, I don't put that effort into a YouTube video. I put that into my notebook when I'm writing jokes and when I'm on the stage. And that's where I get that maximum creative fulfillment out. So that's my advice. And I think that's true of anything, right? Even if it's like I said before, if it's running, if you're trying to be the fastest man alive, when you're in training, you don't try and run 100% every training session, because you're going to injure yourself. The same is true of everything. Pace yourself. Whatever you can do consistently is whatever is going to get you to the top. All right. That's it. I'm Lewis Spears. If you want more, I'm going to continue on Patreon right now. That episode is up. Check out the link in the top comment. And thank you very much. I will talk to you next on Patreon right now or next Sunday. And I hope you have a shit one.